Okay. So the first question comes, why Forms Builder? You have the answer for this, or I'll just explain. So Oracle Forms is the best. I mean, mm, best a UI which interact to Oracle database without even you have any query attached to the form, or just a drag and drop. You will be able to create that form builder. Just a minute, Rahul is calling. Okay, so Rahul was talking. Sorry for that disturbance. So, why Oracle Forms is that it is the best communicator with same Oracle itself is the provider for Oracle Forms Builder, even for the report builder. You have even there are some Java developer also which you can configure using the Oracle database. So, Oracle Forms, if you see here, right? This is a Oracle Form Builder with the default options. So I have just prepared a couple of forms. So these are the properties available under the Oracle Forms by default. So if you have a table in the database, and if you need not to write any code to have the insert for working with the default options like insert, update, delete, and all that, there will be default menu bar, default toolbar available for Oracle Forms. Just a drag and drop, name it, and run it. You will be amazed to see the Oracle Forms runtime actually, and you can design it the way you wanted also.
Okay, we got it.
Yeah, so the environment and concept, I mean, see, there are, if you want to work with a middle tier, right? So if you see the screen, right, completely?
Yes.
Yeah, so how this work in the sense, there are three layers actually in Oracle Forms. If you are running on a middle tier fusion, you call it as, a lot of, sorry? Kyun, you are saying something, or it's a background noise?
I saw that your side is some background noise.
From my side.
Is it clear now?
Yeah. So I'll continue. So there are three layers when you run on a server Oracle Forms by connecting Oracle database. So these are the main layers. Say one is the main from the client side, web tier comes. So when you see the system, this one, right? So this will be the ultimate, the user, how he will be operating, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so here the load balancer comes, like if you have multiple users connected to it, I mean, not multiple in the sense, say 100 or 200 users connected to it, you might have multiple servers associated. So those configuration we do here, and the Oracle Web Cache, like any, I mean, the security system, everything comes under this actually. And the porting, you know how the porting configuration is being done for?
You mean
of communication?
no?
No. Okay. So we have, so in Oracle 12c, we
Yeah,
have,
but we have application admin. They will configure this stuff for us. So we just had the job of how to write the code, how to build the form, and then deploy to their server, and then we done.
right. Okay. Okay. So this actually, the Oracle Web Cache, it mainly talks about how the performance will work. Say you shouldn't be having, if you access any of the world where internet is available with a given URL, with a given username, password, you should not be facing any delays and all that, right? So loading the page. So those things we handle it, these portions actually.
Yeah, but we're too interested in what happened when we drop the forms in the application server. So in that way, we have a better understand, a better way to management our form code.
Yeah, I can. So you are saying these details are not required?
Yeah, we are interested in the part, but that's not really a main focus. We have to understand it
Okay,
just very spatial of it enough, not really very
okay.
deep.
So see, I'll just skip this because we had discussed all these points actually. It's in a same way. You can go through this. The types of forms available. See, this is the same content what you had provided, so it is just put it in my language, the exact language what it should be with the correct keywords, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the environment I told, the concept, the architecture I was explaining you. So
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, the back is some. Yeah, I was just.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So right. So the types of forms, if you see here, right? This is
Yes.
this is a created one which I just wanted to show for the demo purpose. So you can have multiple blocks which can be a master detail, or it can be a there will be a UI, again a pop-up window comes. So that kind of things you can achieve in this. Say here there will be like these are the canvases which user will be able to see, and these are the properties for that. So like see, any of these types you will be able to create Oracle using Oracle Forms. So content is one thing that which will be a permanent window which will be the user work area, and if you make it as stacked, there will be a pop-up a multiple interfaces. If you want to pop it up, you can work with stacked. Vertical toolbar, you might be here, you might be knowing it, right? And horizontal toolbar, you can have these kind of functionality, how either vertically or horizontally, the way you want it. And the tab page, I can show you. So however tab page you want to create, you can create it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can name it whatever you want here. So these are the few types of forms which are available. And this I just mentioned about the content canvas. Windows, I'll just take it. So if you go here, right? So here, if you see these data blocks, which will be communicating with the database actually, right?
Yes.
Okay, so if you go here, see, you see these properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, so These are the properties which will be interacting with the user you are connected. So here I have a, one moment. So here I have used the system itself as a user, right? It's a admin user, and whatever the available objects, right? You will be able to get it here.
Okay.
Which has access to. It is just for the reference, and you will be able to see the built-in packages which Oracle provides, which again you can use it anywhere in the system wherever you want, right?
Yes.
Suppose I'll just take you through a few of a live demo, all right? Suppose I'll create a table. You are aware about all these comments, right? Syntax, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Just couple of columns I'll put it across. So the table is being created, right?
Yes.
Just 3 columns. Just wanted to show you how does it actually work. So this I'll collapse it. So here we don't have anything. You see this, right? There is a default window, which I'll make it as employee. Whatever the naming convention you use, you can implement however you want, right? So
Yes.
this is a wizard actually. So here again. So you can call it as EMP details, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the properties which will be used for the naming conversions. So if we are creating for a business, there will be definitely a naming standard which you have to follow, the window size, color, everything, right? So
Okay.
those things you can capture it actually. So here again, I'll say sorry. Employee details. So this is a internal name which will be given, but when you save the form, it will be frm emp detail dot fmp, right?
Okay.
This will
Yes.
be the name usually we keep it. And again, here you will be able to see the default and the smart bar which Oracle provides. If you want, you can keep it. If you don't want, you can remove it. That's not a problem.
Okay.
So sorry. So this will be the default bar. This will be the default bar which comes with Oracle Forms.
Okay.
All the navigation, insert, delete, locking a particular record, saving it, printing it, exit, cut, copy, paste, all these execute the query, enter query mode. So all these options are available with this actually, if you use this, right?
Okay.
Okay. So, and another feature which is available, which I'll show you here. So here you see this.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So this also you can create it, right? So
Yeah.
this is a customized window which will be like again as per the business standard. You want to get it like see a new bar, edit, query, lock, record, field, window, help, right? So
Yes.
however you want to define for your business, yes, you can create it without this. This is the default one. It will have its own restrictions. You can't customize this particular stuff, but you can create a fresh one and use the same way Oracle Smart Bar or Default Bar works. With the same kind of features we can implement with a little more powerful code, right? So
Yeah.
those options are available here.
So if you remove the default that value, so what is the default bar will be grayed out, right? The
I
default
follow
code.
you.
So just no, you just show us if we remove the default smart something in that window,
Right.
in that input box. Yeah, if we remove this one, so
Yes.
all these default these buttons will be grayed out, right?
Yeah, this will be when you're running it. If you have this option, then only it will be, if you set this value, then only it
Yeah.
will be coming. Otherwise, it will not be coming. So that's what
Okay.
I mentioned.
Oh, they are not,
This
display out. Okay.
Okay, so this is the default smart bar and default bar, which you can
Okay.
navigate to the records. Anything you can do, like if you want to delete it, you have to use this button. If you want to insert it, you have to use this button. And save options are there. This is the exit window. And a particular record, if you want to make it in a lock mode, say you are aware about lock mode, right? So if you
Yeah.
are locking it, none of the other user will be able to take it in the edit mode. It will be a for update lock on the table for that record, and none of the user will be able to modify that particular record unless you release it, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So yeah. So this is just the form property. So I'll take you. So you see that there is no canvas, only a default window is available.
Yeah. Yes.
So in a window, when a form is being created, Oracle form default create a window, because when you create a canvas, you need to have a Oracle window. I mean Forms window. Otherwise, it will not be able to run. You will be able to design it, but you will not be able to run it, right?
Yes.
So we have this table now, employee. I'll just try to get it in the UI. So this is through the wizard I'm taking. This is a data block wizard.
Okay.
I mentioned it is being using for the uh, interacting with the Oracle database with the forms. Save, say querying it and moving around the data. So say it is asking now, we have a table or view or a stored procedure, whichever you want to choose under the connection which you use, right? Say the user is system, right? The
Okay.
same, I have been connected to the system. So we have a table which is being created here. So I'll just pull out that, right? You
Yeah.
see
Yes.
this
Yes.
same structure. You can able to see that same name, right? Department.
Okay.
So we will select whatever the columns say it is C. I mean these columns, these attributes, right? Whatever you say, it will be available under this. Whatever we are gonna create it now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So a block name. So we use some naming standards. So I'll just say block employee, right?
Okay.
So now block is being created. Now I want to design few of the things in the wizard itself. So if you want to just get exit and you want to manually do the design, yes, you have that option. but here just we are taking little more help of the features which has been given by Oracle Forms, right?
Okay.
So yeah. So again, see, canvas came into picture, right?
Yes.
It is asking for this we have gone through now.
Okay.
Then canvas or the stacked or vertical toolbar, horizontal toolbar, or tab page. So you can define the tab page if it is required. You can define it here. So as of now, I'll just say stacked window, and it is a new canvas. So if you
Okay.
have an existing canvas over here, right?
Okay.
If you have manually created it, yes, it will prompt that canvas name here. And if you want to create it a new one, yes, that also is possible here,
Okay.
right? So I'll say
Yes.
a new canvas, and it is a stacked window, stacked canvas or window, you can say. Okay, now, so which is this is literally asking you how many columns you want it in to be in the user interface, right?
Yes.
So these are the available columns which will be always there under this data block, and maybe some of the logic, right? Say some of the columns you can be in the backend, and you will update it based on some triggering point, right? Say something like created date, right?
Yeah.
Created
Yes.
modified date, user, that can be in the backend, that need to be in the front end as a user interface to see, like, okay, this user is updated for so and so time. So usually we keep it in the backend, and those columns, yes, you can deselect if at all available here. As of now, we have just 3 columns. I will just take only 2, and I will display it on the canvas. Department number, I'll just keep it in the block itself. You can bring it to the UI later on if it is required also. So this is the naming standard which I have given for the block, right?
Okay.
And you see here what type of item it should be, whether it is a display item, push button, hierarchical tree, or a image, push button, radio group, whatever you want, you can select it over here. It can be a
Okay.
text list, so where you will be populating the list item. Okay, so what I will do, I'll just get the department number also here. Okay, so department number, we can just say that it is a text list.
Okay.
So which will be having, see, if you are working on a RDBMS, so you will have the relational database, right? So this employee table definitely will have a connection with the department table if you have in the real scenarios. So that department number will be listed out when the employee is being getting created, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So you are able to follow me, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So this I'll just keep it as a text list, right?
Okay.
So here, see, EMP ID, I'll say. This will be the canvas displaying, okay?
Okay.
I'll say department number, right? So whatever
Okay.
width you want to keep it, you can keep it, sorry, I'll just uh, say 30, I'll say. Height, let it be 16, we don't have any problem. You see, now we have 2 options here, whether it is one it is form type, which you are able to see, right?
Okay.
Here, or it is a tabular. Tabular in the sense it will be working as a grid, which you will be able to see multiple records in a grid itself, and you will be able to navigate under this. So I'll just say tabular as of now, right? Anything
Okay.
you can as you wish. So I'll say
Okay.
tabular, say employee details, say in the grid, how many rows will be available, right?
Yeah.
I'll say 10, and just for the look purpose, I'll just keep a distance of 2 millimeter, and I'll put a scroll bar. And here we go. We completed the wizard, and you will be say when I click on finish, you will be see
Okay.
under this employee details, you will be able to see a data block which is of the same name what we have given, and a new canvas, and under the data block you will be able to see those 3 columns, 2 text item plus 1 list item, right? So I'll just say
Okay. Yes.
finish now, right?
Okay.
It will directly take you to the UI. You see this?
Yes.
Yeah. So these are
So
the,
for the data grid, you just say the height, the width. So what's the unit
yeah,
for
yeah.
this one?
What are the,
What the unit is? You say the distance between the rows, you set to 2, and
yeah.
the height to 16. What does the 16 mean? What's the units?
See, 16 is this height.
Yes.
Okay. Width is
It,
this.
yeah, let's use 30 or 40 or something.
Yeah.
What does the
Yeah.
16 and the 40 mean? What's the units?
Unit.
Yeah.
That is millimeter.
Oh, millimeter. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And here you see this a small gap between this grid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is 2 millimeter we have given for distance, that you can remove it also anytime whenever you want actually.
Yeah, I just want to know, when you put a number there, we'll try to understand the meaning. Some use pixel, some use like default number you designed without unit here. You said millimeter.
Yeah.
That's good. That's what.
You it need not to be 10 or something. If you want just 5, you can make it as 5, and
Yes.
you will be able to see this. You need to redesign the scroll bar and all that, because the scroll bar comes as default through the wizard. See? 5. Getting it right? You're able to capture?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So if you say 20, according to that, this will get expanded now.
Yes.
See?
Yeah.
You see this, right? So
Yes.
these are just parameters which you can configure at any point of time in the design. Once the runtime is being set, if you make a lot of changes, see, now there is a problem here in this, because your canvas is up to here only.
Okay. So you
Up to
see
here
in
only.
this screen, in the top, you have a lot of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those one actually measurement as like a ruler with units of millimeter.
Which one? This one you are talking?
I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. Yes, it's the top. Move your mouse a little bit up. Yeah, and down.
Here?
Yeah, yes. Yeah. These numbers.
So these numbers are Oracle itself defined it. So there is no unit to it actually. So it is just a I mean, what you can say, it is a developer friendly unit where you can define the way you want. I mean, this doesn't actually, in the real time, it never comes into picture. This.
Yeah, yes. So when you design, the width and the height is something related to this number displayed on the top. So now you drag the box like a 544 millimeter or just 544 something.
544. Okay, here.
Yeah. So you have 544. What does the 544 mean here? Is the
See,
width?
I mean, it is the width itself. I mean, see, your canvas is up to here actually, 704.
Yes.
This is the
Okay.
frame which you define, this frame, right?
Yeah. Yes.
This is the frame which you defined your runtime preview for the
Yes.
user. Say if you have only this much
Yeah.
you will be able to see, and rest of the part will not be visible at the runtime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So when you defined this 450, right?
Yes.
So almost like 50, you will be able to get it here.
So now we can see our canvas has a width 704 millimeters.
Sorry, come again.
So now you define the canvas, the width is 704 millimeters, or just 704, no units.
Correct.
Yeah, the canvas, the width,
Yes. Correct.
704.
Correct. In the form runtime for the user actually.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, yeah, just move on. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So these are the. So for this department, I have just given it as a text item, right?
Yes.
One moment. You're able to see, right? Say you can say 10 list item value, say finance. This is just, I mean, hard coded values. Okay.
Okay.
Tech. I'll just say HR. So these will be the values which will be prompting at the runtime. Say 10 is defined as finance, 20 is defined as a tech, 30 it is defined as a HR. So when you save this on the runtime, you will be able to see this,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
So just a moment. The laptop charge is less actually. Sorry. Right. So these are the things. It is okay. It's charging now. Thank you. Right. So that was. You see this? This is what
Yes.
we were talking about, the width and height of the form.
Yeah. So that's why I just
And
said.
yeah, so this is in the design mode, the viewport which you see.
Yeah. Yes.
So this is the runtime physical, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And here, if you go to the block properties, so few of the things will come, like this navigation method in the same record in the sense, say, suppose this navigation you want, right? In one of your tutorial also it was mentioned, points also was mentioned, controlling the navigation, right?
Okay. Yes.
So usually this controlling, right? So here what should happen is that once you complete the first row, it should navigate to the second row, employee ID, and once
Okay.
you complete the second row, it should come here. Correct, right? That is
Okay.
what the expectation. If it is a tabular type, if you have
Okay.
working on the grid, so that is being configured over here. You see this property.
Okay. Yes.
Change record, if you say, it will work on sorry, this has picked the wrong one, so I'll just change okay, change record itself, say canvas, I'll just go. So it will go like once after the other, it will be keep moving on the runtime.
Okay.
And say again, if you have a master detail form, like I said, right, sometimes back, you have department employee, you can actually have the data change in the data block. So what it will do, something like, I'll just explain you. A manual block I'm creating, I'm not using a wizard now, right?
Yes.
I'll just say a department and say I have a couple of columns. We don't have a table, so I'm just putting a dummy columns. So in this case, what will happen is that if you have a property like change the data block, so the navigation control will be first, it will be at the runtime, it will be going to the department number, department name. If it is a text item, if it is a display item, it will skip that, and then it will try to go to the employee ID.
Okay.
Okay, so something like I can just design it. Oh, this is a wrong canvas. Okay, so what I will do is that I'll make my frame little smaller, right?
Okay.
And I'll bring it down. Sorry. Okay, right?
Okay.
So for these items, I'll take the property. One moment. It's you are able to see this, right? It's a text item.
Yes.
So in the last session, I was explaining about the subclass information. That I'll take you through that. Okay. So whether it is a database item, no, because we don't have a table right away. So I'll make it available on Canvas 4, which is here, right?
Yes.
You see this?
Yes.
Something is loading too much, actually, giving a lot of. Uh, One moment. We have both the columns here. You see this, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So here you can give the width, the positions, you can set it out. Yeah. The prompt, whichever you want, you can give. Say this is department number. You see this, right?
Yes.
And say you can give any tooltip, or these are the main things which we use actually. Tooltip in the sense, when you go with the cursor, it will give, say, please enter the department number. It's a numeric field, something like that. We will give, right?
Okay.
Right. So here we can say department name. You can change the color, look and feel, anything, whatever you want, you can change it actually. So just the time is not too much. That's the reason I'm just keeping off all these. All right, Quinn?
Yes.
So
We can
look and
begin.
feel doesn't have much of things. So when I say change in the data block, right? So
Yeah.
once it move from here, right? In the cursor on runtime, it will
Okay.
come here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we have a property set as uh, change record, right? So once
Yes.
after two columns are covered, it will go to the next block, which is available as per the sequence, and
Okay.
the cursor will be pointed in employee ID and employee name. Then department it will come. Then what it will do is that it will go to the next row and it will complete how much ever the scrolling you use, right? It will
Yes.
complete that. Okay. Now, on these, any questions, Quinn, so far?
Yeah.
Go on, please.
Yeah. So far it's good. So far so
So
good.
far, it's okay. Okay, thank you. So I'll collapse this. I'll take it to you a different things. So triggers. So are you aware about the table triggers which we have on Oracle, Queen?
You mean available access table from Oracle database?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So we have row level and statement level trigger on Oracle database. Correct, right?
Yes.
So this is actually that will be working in the backend itself. I mean, with sync with Oracle form. Like if you have on say we have created like now on employee table, if we have a trigger associated for something like create a time user to capture the auditing, we can use the triggers which is there in the database. We need not to do anything on the form in the front end for to make that available for that particular table, right? So
Yes.
these in forms, actually, if you talk about, you have multiple triggers. This is form level triggers, right?
Yes.
So something
Yes.
like the security which you want to enable on, say, on the runtime, if you want to say on log on you have different entry on different triggering point, which exactly we can see. Say on log on say if the record is being blocked, on insert, on fetching on particular record, on error, say you want to capture that few of the errors and disable it. So all these things can be done on this will be available across this form, right?
Yes.
Across this form. So whatever the
Okay.
triggering points which you will be using here, right? Say a few of the key. What we will do is that key F8, F7, F8 is like enter query mode. F8 is execute query mode. Say F8, if you press on the keyboard, it will just fetch the records whichever is available on the database. So clearing block, editing, all these are just the triggering point on the forms which are available.
Okay.
This will be available again. I'm saying entire forms, these
Okay.
triggers, right? And
Yes.
again, here if you go, you have a block level triggers. The same level of triggering points you will be able to see here also, but
Okay.
this is only available for this particular block. Say BL
Okay.
user. Can you want to
Okay.
ask
You
something?
mentioned that triggers has a different level. You have a block level, form level, item level.
Correct.
So
Item
that's
level.
only three.
Yes.
If you have an application, do you have any trigger is above the form level? Because
Any.
for application, you have a lot of forms, right? Individual forms.
Correct.
Are there any trigger there, or just the trigger only start from form level?
See, the trigger names will be the same, but the area it work, right? Say form level trigger, if you take it will be across the entire form. If you take a block level trigger only for this block, it will work. It will not be applicable for this block, right? And if you have item level trigger, say if you go here, it will be working only for this item. This block. Only this item will work for this trigger. It will not be applicable for any of, say, you have a column here, text item, or any item which are available over here, right? Mainly, say this text item, the push button, radio box, checkbox, anything, display item. It will work only for that particular column. Trigger. Right, that is the main abbreviation. So the triggering point also you will be able to see F8, F7, help, clearing block. Little difference will come. Say you will not be able to see on log off, all these here on the item level. That will be coming only on the form level. Little more options you will get, triggering points you will be able to get it here. Because it is applicable for the complete forms. I mean, say you see on log out. Say these you will not be able to see on the record level. On error, yes, it is available, but on fetch, on insert, on lock, on log on log out, all this will not be available. Right? No. There is another thing which you have here is alerts. Alert is nothing but it is a prompt. You will be giving a stop notification or a warning message or a information message. Okay, user is successfully created. So these are the stuff which we will be using through the alerts. Right? And the attached libraries. Attached library, it is will be using the Oracle PLSQL code itself. Most of the things you can build your own procedure function. So attached library, usually what happens is that I can just take you through that. So you have PLSQL library. So you can create n number of procedures, whatever you want here. Procedure or a package. You know all this, right? So anything which you want to create on the front end, yes, you can do it over here. And attach that with here. Yeah. So forms will be usually the I mean when you save, right? Say when you save, it will be FMB file. And and when you run it, when you give it to, I mean, the client side or something, it will be a FMX file where they will not be able to decode it and get the code what you have written. Say something like if you see, say when I say when validate item, say something you have written, say validate something, a department number. This is which validate name, I will say. So something if you have a function or if you have a procedure with which has no special characters or something, then you will be able to validate it over here from the attached library.
Okay.
Getting it, right?
Okay.
Data block we talked about. Canvas again we talked about. And one of the major one which you can see LOVs. So the list of values. So this is one of the method you have a list of values.
Okay.
But this is a predefined values, right?
Yes.
You can
There is.
have this. You can have this. Say you can blank out all these, and you can have it populated at the runtime also. Say when you see
Okay.
here, sorry, text also I have to remove. Okay, this will be null now. At the
Okay.
runtime, populate this. For that, we need to use this LOVs.
Okay.
LOV when you are creating, you will define the foreign keys, right? Or the check keys that you can define it over here. So you have to mention the SQL statements over here,
Okay.
right? You can import the SQL query from the database also. If it is there in
Okay.
any procedure or a function, you can get it actually. This is just for the connection. We have connected it as a system. So it will just prompt that. So when you
Okay.
create LOV, you will have a record group also associated. So LOV will just show you how many columns are there. Say, I'll just, so the mapping will be available here.
Okay.
Right? And when you create it through the wizard, you will have a record group also. Record group
Okay.
will say which query is being assigned, or you need a static value which
Okay.
count, right? Say department number you want to say on UI. Say you can put a button here. One moment. See, just one button I'll give, right? So
Okay.
when you on this, say uh, when button pressed, triggering point. Say where we can say that we can create a customized function for this to show the LOV.
Okay.
This will work as of now. This is, I'm just showing it to you. How does it work? Say LOV12 means when you click on this, on the runtime, you will be able to see the LOV window with the department number, whichever data is available on the in the department table.
Okay.
And the major one which I explained you in the last session, so it is about the object library. So again, you can have any of these properties, right? Any of these properties, even
Okay.
window, visual attribute, reports, record groups, property class, anything, you can define it over here.
Okay.
Say, so this will be a business, uh, say, I'll just say canvas, library for canvas. I say it is a canvas, right?
Okay.
Can create these, which you will be having few standards, right? When you define say you when you develop a UI, you will have certain color definition, like we had that number defined, right? The width is being defined as 2. All these configurations, it is a bit slow, sorry. Okay, so all these configuration which we can implement over here and customized according to in your forms, how say a few forms you want a little more width to look better, yes, you can do that. But when you change something on this, right, say this login, now you can have a synchronization with the canvas available in FRM demo. So when you make any changes over here, right, and save
Yeah.
this object library, it will automatically reflect here.
Okay.
Okay, something like I can just show you. Say, you see this cursor,
Yes.
it will ask now, you want to subclass it or just a copy? Subclass in the sense, this will be the parent always and this will be the child.
Okay.
Okay, this is actually, we haven't saved it. That's the reason it is coming. So when you subclass it, always the parent, when the object library is being changed, the effect will be there in the module, whichever forms you have created under your screens. I mean, say 10 screens are there under which you have everywhere login screens. It will be looking common everywhere at the same look, same height and width of the columns, and the look and feel everywhere it will be common when you subclass it. Or when you say just copy, when you say just copy, it will not have any sync with the